Well, yeah, we are live. Just doing a basic setup on a Strat shaped object today. I call it a Strat shaped object just to avoid any trademark infringements that some companies would really go after, try and destroy the market for young people buying affordable guitars instead of having to spend thousands and thousands on a guitar that they have to buy from a name ultimately. We all know who I'm talking about. You know, the whole Play Authentic thing. Yeah, that. I own a couple of those authentic ones, and they're pretty okay guitars. They're pretty okay guitars, but we're not going to have to adjust anything on that, I don't believe. Oh yes, we got to go this way. This does have a set of Fishman brand pickups in it, and don't use power tools on electric guitars. I always warn people about that, and they just never listen. And I got my chuck set way too tight, so we adjust that down so that it won't strip these screw holes out. And I've done some work on this guitar in the past. Put this set of Fishman pickups in it. Hopefully my sound and my video is doing okay. I hope everybody's having a really great Thursday. I have had one heck of a morning. I've already taken care of a warranty deal on a PV Viper, what was it, a Viper 3 amp, and that one's getting sent back for warranty. Those guys were really helpful. Ben over at PV is just an awesome rep and very helpful. This is an SVK brand guitar, and it came in, it was pretty dirty, and this belongs to a very good friend of mine and a very a long-time client of our shop, a guy named Terry. Owns this guitar. He buys very affordable guitars. I probably paid $200 for this thing, and has put $1,000 worth of upgrades into it. So I'm really proud of him for doing that. And this thing plays like a dream. Let's see, what did we do on this? First of all, the output jack. It's an output jack, not an input jack, by the way. The output jack here, the nut came loose. I have no idea how that happened because I have a lock washer behind it, and I tighten these down, so that should never happen, but somehow it did. And I found this inside the cavity in here connected to this, and this piece of wire, I just removed it because of that little thing that happened to it. I have no idea how that happened. It was not like that when I put it in the guitar, I guarantee it. You know my work, and I would never leave something like this inside a guitar. Also, the wiring was so short that when I lifted the pick guard off of the instrument, the wires were not, pulled the output jack, the wires weren't long enough to even work on it. There's no way I could have soldered it the way it was configured in here. So I'm gonna assume that something was done to this guitar after I did my work on it, which was putting this these pickups in this guitar. But that I don't know 100%. So what we're gonna do is just a real basic setup. You've seen a lot of this on my channel many times in the past, and many other channels, but I do it live just because I can. So we're gonna start stringing this thing up. I'm putting a set of what are they? Ernie Ball Super Slinkies on this Strat shaped object, and we'll get the strings on it. I know this part is kind of boring. Y'all have seen this 1,000 times. 1,000 times on 1,000 channels, and there are 1,000 more upcoming channels that are doing guitar repair, and be sure to check those out. A lot of really cool guys doing some interesting work on instruments, and it's fun for me to get to see how other people do things. Sometimes it's very entertaining to watch because you know, guys do things differently than I do, and sometimes I'm like, oh, a little bit of cringe, but then at the same time, sometimes I'm like, oh man, that's a great idea. So also in the description of this video, there are links to some YouTube channels. There are some links to YouTube channels that I think that you should subscribe to and take a look at. These guys are working real hard to build their channels and have some good information out there. Great personalities. So I would highly recommend that you check the description and subscribe to those guys and support those channels. Interesting how I've been watching. Watched a video that you know, some of the, you know, a lot of the big channels out there putting videos up and all the drama in the guitar world and all that stuff, and pretty much they support one another, but the smaller channels kind of get overlooked. You know, and it would be really cool if some of those bigger channels would maybe look at some of the smaller guys and maybe give them a little bit of chance. I think I'm way too sharp on this, but we're getting her close. Yeah, just stringing her up, and you can kind of see how I do this up here. Put a set of strings on the guitar in just a couple minutes. 2, 3, and we're gonna get into the setup on this thing, which isn't going to take much. Oh, there we go. Okay, got it. So again, I hope everybody's having a really great Thursday. I have a lot of guitar students coming in this afternoon, which I love. I love all of them. I have some young people. We'll see. We'll tune her up here. Yay! Hey, you! None of the other guys do it live. Yeah, not many do. I get it. And I don't know why. Kind of puzzling. I mean, you've seen me make mistakes, and I love doing it live because it gives me something I can talk while I'm working, and it's really fun. Let's see. Now, I need my snark tuner, which I believe is on my guitar in the other room. I kind of got going here. Man, I've had one heck of a day today. Here's some of the ends of the wire that I stripped yesterday and doing some repair work to this. I had to replace 3 pieces of wire in this that were awful short, and again, I don't do that, so I'm curious what happened to this thing. I'm not even going to ask. It's none of my business. I don't know what the owners of guitars do once they leave my shop, but when they come back and they're broken, I got to fix them. So that's what we do. Let's see, where's my tuner? Oh man. So my snark tuner is once again, it is not where I keep it, and not a big fan of the rechargeable snark tuners these days. I don't like speaking badly about products I sell, but the newer ones, somebody snagged my tuner, so I'm gonna go grab another brand new one. I think I've been through about 20 of those in the last year, and I have no idea how my snark tuner ends up missing. I had the same one for 8 years, and now I've lost like 12 of them in the last couple months. I'm looking all over the place. Try not to waste another snark, but for somehow mine always end up missing. Hang on. So, I mean, I have no idea where mine go. I put them in the same place every day, but they I have one spot that I keep it, and I have to go look. So I'm using one of these, and I do not like these at all. Take one of these to a gig and have the battery go dead, right? Dave, hello. Man, welcome. Hugh, it is so nice to see you again, dude. It's been a while. Although, we did see one another. I caught you on your birthday stream with good old Lori, which was really cool to see. Happy birthday, belated. A little bit. Look at that. It's already all charged up. That's cool. I don't like how these respond. They're kind of slow with regard to that. And this is my favorite pocket knife. I've had one of these for decades. I think I started carrying this kind of pocket knife probably 10 or 11, 12 years old. I would take it, and it was always in my pocket at school. Oh my God, right? Kid carrying a pocket knife to school. So I'm going to stretch these strings out real quick. Show you my method for doing this. Hugh, man, again, dude, it's really great to see you. Let's see. Independent, hello. Oh, thank you for sharing that out. And thank you for being a mod on my channel. I sure do appreciate it. I haven't been doing a lot of live stuff lately. I've been so busy playing gigs, you know, that doing live streams from home, I spend a lot. See, these tuners don't really respond real well, and I make sure the volume's turned up. Now, another thing, these are active pickups, and they're working just fine. But if these active pickups go dead at a show, you have to recharge them with a USB cable, and I'm not really a fan of either. So you have to be very damn certain that you have the batteries fully charged. I don't know how long they'll last. Probably a good long time, but I haven't experienced that yet. But they sound fantastic. These are the Fishmans, and they have the again, they have the rechargeable battery pack on the back. And I would love to plug this in right now and charge it while I'm working on it, but it's kind of difficult with it on the back like this. I don't have a 90'd USB cable, so I don't want to break anything. So we'll just hope the pickups are fairly well charged. Now, again, this customer was playing a gig, client, very good friend of mine, long time. I've played music, live shows with him. He does a style of music that I'm not particularly fond of. I am not a fan of Jimmy Buffett. I do not like Jimmy Buffett. I don't care if I ever hear one of his songs, ever. Cannot stand his music. But that's me. But he does a lot of classic, kind of folkish music, radio pop, top 40 folk type music. And he also plays, and when he uses this guitar, he plays with an artist from our area named Randy Goody, I think is his name. You can look him, Randy Goody, I think is his name. Again, I'm having to wrestle with this snark tuner just because it was telling me that the note I was hitting was B when it was actually A, and it didn't switch. I don't know. Hugh, I'm curious, man. I'll say hello to everybody. I've got to stay busy here because I've got a lot of work that just came in today. So I want to try and get these guys' guitars back to them as quickly as possible. and get them set up and playable and all that stuff. I think that this one, he was complaining a little bit about some fret buzz, and he likes really super low action. So this is a classic, I want my strings touching the frets while I play and no fret buzz. I want my strings touching the frets, every fret, but no fret buzz. Now, I'm joking, but that's what my boss does to me and most guitar players. They want low action, low, low, low. So we're going to do our best to keep this thing as low as possible and make it as easy as possible to play. Jampro, oh, you lucky dog. You got the rest of the day off. Good for you. I am, check this out, dude, just so you can see it. Yep, it's working perfectly. Clean as a whistle, brother. I also want to say something real quick. Yesterday I was using a Behringer UM2 audio interface. They're $49 on Amazon.com. And what I'm doing right now, while I'm working on this guitar, I'll just share this with you as quickly as I can, and I'll say hi to everybody. I was using the UM2, and you have to use an ASIO for all driver to operate this thing on a Windows machine, which I've used it in the past and it worked great, but I ripped 3 cassette tapes, and these cassette tapes are 43 years old. So, I mean, and they sound, this is straight off the cassette, what you're hearing there. And this is native music that's native to the land that's now called the United States of America. And this is a very historical, very meaningful music. It's documented from 1982. And the lady that, one of the women who's performing on these cassette tapes is the mother of the lady who brought these tapes into me to have them forever etched in history. And I'm really honored that she brought them to me. But I use the Behringer interface because it's small and it's affordable, and I've used it many times in the past and it worked great. And all of a sudden, just out of the blue, I mean, it started clicking and glitching and stuff. So I took the time to do 3 45-minute per side. They're 90-minute tapes. I digitally burned them into my hard drive. I have a very nice hard drive here, and when I played them back and listened to them, they were glitchy, like a I don't know, a clock sync or something was wrong in the UM4. So it was a UM2 Behringer unit. Now, I'm not going to try not to mention their name again because it's just terrible that I wasted so much time using a product that is sold worldwide and is so crappy. So I'm using a Focusrite 4i4 now that I've owned for years, and it works great. It's never had a problem. It's working perfectly. So do yourselves a favor, and anything below a Behringer XR18 I would highly recommend. And this is just experience talking. Don't buy that crap. Don't buy the whatever even the audio interfaces have 8 channels or whatever. I've just had terrible experience. That's me personally. Buy them, use them if you got them, whatever. If they work for you, great. I won't ever use one again. There he is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Sean plays guitar. Hello. Let's see. And Hugh, Jampro, dude, it's so good to see you. Right on. Okay, so I'm gonna. That was my statement. So again, I'm documenting some very important history for the land that we live in, of the people who were here first, and I'm really honored to do that. Okay, so let's. First thing I'm going to do is check our neck relief. I'm actually going to plug this thing in and play it for a moment, and see how she's working. Make sure the jack and the electronics are all still hitting on all 8. I think they are, but let's see how things work. And I want to play this guitar to kind of get an idea of what the owner maybe was complaining about. And as you can see, this guitar is plugged into a really crappy little amp that I use here to play through to test my work and test the electronic. Okay. And I'm sorry if this is blowing your ears out. If it is blowing your ears out, let me know, or clipping your my audio or my camera mic, I don't know. And if there is any problem with my video or audio, please don't hesitate to tell me. It's just par for the course, because my name is Marshall, and if it can go wrong, it will. Classic bridge Strat pickup, silent. These Fishmans are really nice, and this guitar sounds like a Strat, but it's very, very silent and active. Okay, so my client was telling me that there was a little bit of if y'all haven't subbed up to Sparky971, please do. And TheUbie is a new guy that I've just recently met. He does some really cool stuff on his channel, a lot of playing, and really cool to listen to these guys. I hope to hear some recordings from them. Okay. Let's block that guy. If you haven't, let's remove. I'm gonna hide users, and I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Thanks for doing that, Jampro. I appreciate it. A robot. I must be doing something right? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Anybody who puts anything political or vulgar or racial on here is blocked, banned. And you know, it sucks that YouTube has made it impossible. You can't block people from your channel anymore, even people that do. I didn't see what he put up there, but nonetheless, enough attention to that. Okay, so now what I'm doing right here with my technique for checking for fret buzz is I'm fretting a note, and then I'm pushing down on the string on the fret in front of it. So I'm fretting a note on the 4th fret and then pushing down on the 5th fret, the same string, to see how much room I have, how far down I have to push that string to make sure there's clearance, so that the string can spin in its circle. Strings don't move up and down, they spin in a circle when you strike them. It's now spinning in a circle, and we've got to have clearance for that thing to revolve like it should, so that we don't have any fret buzz and not hitting the fret in front of it. really nice. I'm going to check the neck relief now. I just wanted to kind of see where it was at when I started. So let's see if we've got enough neck relief. Jampro, thank you for doing that. My Only Frets podcast today was all about addressing haters. Yeah, good, Sean. And I don't know, Sean, I don't know if I've seen you before on the channel, but welcome, man. I do a lot of musical content. Hey, I got Jampro here. He's got my back. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a bummer you can't block people from your channels anymore. YouTube has allowed people to. It's like Facebook has allowed people to steal your identity and such. Okay. So what I'm seeing here is that the low strings have a good amount of underbow, but the high strings don't have enough. And I'm doing some visual stuff here, but I'm literally, the neck relief on the treble side of this neck is about, I don't know, maybe a quarter less than the bass side of this guitar. Now, it has nothing to do with the string height. This has to do with the underbow and the neck. And I'm pushing down. The neck doesn't bend up here. It hits the body at that point. So I fret the neck where it meets the body, because the neck could possibly bend from this point to the nut. So I'm just checking up and down this string. So what I may have to do on this guitar, because the neck is probably twisted a little, and again, this is a fairly affordable guitar. Not fairly, it's a very affordable guitar, but there may be a little twist in this neck. So what I'm going to do initially, and I'm going to have to pull the neck off of this to do it, because they put the truss rod adjustment here, and we'll take care of that real quick. I am going to loosen the truss rod about 1/8 of a turn and put the neck back on, and we'll check it after that, because this side of the neck does not have the same underbow that this side of the neck has, right? So we're going to have to split the difference ultimately, and that's what happens on, unfortunately, it's something that happens on more affordable guitars. And I'm just using that word real liberally, because it could happen on an American-made Strat. It depends on the piece of wood and how old the guitar is and how the wood's moved over years. And what I always say to folks is, take a 2x4 and stick it out on your front porch. Is that mine?
That is you.
Oh, I got my stuff for my diabetes. Right? Very cool. Mountain Man, yo, hey, what's happening? Good to see you. Snooks, hello. So we have literally been best friends for okay, Sean. Okay. 40 years, huh? Good. I'm not even that old. What are you talking about? No. Okay, so I'm going to underbow this neck a little bit further, and then we'll check the string action on this and see if we can make it. Because I am feeling like there are a few places on this high E string, the treble E string. And when I say high, I mean pitch. I'm not talking about distance from the floor. When I talk about guitars and stuff like that, usually when I say high or low, I'm talking about pitch, not, again, distance from the earth, I guess. Gravity, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to pull this off. Let's pull the neck off of this thing and pay close attention to this, because this is going to blow your mind. Right? I've done this before many times, but don't use power tools on guitars. It's a dangerous road you're walking when you do that, because you could really mess something up pretty easily by not removing the string tension and you know, removing the strings and all that. You know, you could cause a really terrible problem by not taking the strings, and then by using a power tool on it. It's really bad idea. Do as I say, not as I do, is what my mom always told me. All right, so we're gonna move the truss rod that far. That's it. Right? Okay, now again, I didn't oh, I'm gonna put a ding in his guitar. I didn't I didn't loosen the string tension. Let's look at the front side of this. And this is what happens. Woo! This is what happens when we do this. Oh my goodness. This is a... Now the strings will go everywhere but where they're supposed to go. Like the low E string will be over on the G string slot, and the A string will end up on the D string slot and all of that. That's just how it goes. But putting this back together again. Again, don't use power tools on a guitar. Bad, bad, bad idea. Okay. Now I just made a tiny little move in the truss rod and did not remove the strings, didn't take the string tension off, because why waste your time doing that? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's check the neck relief now. I'm going to do that. See, guys, it seems like a lot of guitar owners are just scared to death to remove the neck or loosen the capo on the first. Capo on the first, yeah. Now I'm going to retune it and capo on the first fret. Yes, when I'm doing neck relief, the underbow or overbow, whatever you want to call it, on a guitar, I do use a capo on the first fret. Very good. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so I can tell. Okay. So we'll tune her back up. I know it takes a little time. One beautiful thing about the Snark is that you don't have to tune it. So the thing barely even went out of tune at all. Now I'm going to give them another little tug. When you do that with a guitar, you know, the windings on the machine heads will loosen up a little bit, and you want to re-stretch and get the string stretched so the tension's all good. Okay, now side 2 is done. Okay, excellent. Hang on. I've got to, here's what I'm doing. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm multitasking. Let me get this out of the way. Yeah. Yeah, Craig is now, I think Jampro probably took it. I'm going to remove all of these. Well, I don't have to do that. I think put user, yeah, you can just block them or hide them from the channel. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I've got these cassettes here, and let me turn my camera around because I'm kind of doing two things at once here. I'm working on a guitar, and here you are. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, Mountain Man, I love it. Okay, so let me pull up good old, this is where I've been recording the cassette tapes. I'm using Reaper to do this, and this is Savvy's Bar Side A, and I'm going to go over to this file, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. I could probably share the screen with you, but I'm going to save myself some. I'm going to go to Item Properties, and this is called Savvy's Bar Side B, and this way when I render these they will be very easy to identify. Alright, so that's Savvy's Bar. Now we're going to go to, and I've recorded this yesterday, so I already had the you know, Savvy's Bar 1926, and when I pull this cassette out of there, I don't think that's the year, 1926 Savvy's Bar. So that she will know what cassette she's listening to when she listens to it digitally. Now the bummer about this is that it's all one file, so I'm not going to be able to split this into individual tracks. I just probably won't do that. But let's see. Now we need drums, Grandma A. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to grab this cassette tape, which is drums, Grandma, side A. So we're going to put it in here. What's happening?
Can you help me deliver a car? Are you in the middle of something?
I'm doing a stream right at the moment, but I can certainly hang it up. We need to...
all we're doing is going to my house, dropping one car off, and then bringing another one back.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm bringing... Yeah, but I want to have both cars here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got to drive?
Yeah.
Let me
it's probably triple time and a half.
Right. Okay. Let me start this recording real quick.
Sorry about that.
No, Mike, it's what I'm here for.
I know. This is what you're here for. This is personal.
Okay. I got you. Okay,
but
so
it's for Laura, that makes you feel
yeah, that makes me feel that perfect. Okay, so I've got the cassette.
To come do plumbing this year. I got them all. You
need me to hook your hoses back up?
Yeah. No, actually, I had Jenny do it. I just wasn't going to tell you.
Oh, God. Okay. So I'm going to have to leave for a moment, and what I'm going to do is play this beautiful music for you. So I've got this project set up, and I've got the cassette deck down here run into inputs 1 and 2, and I have the audio going out to my little amplifier here, which is mono, and I have the stereo audio bumped down to a mono signal so I can monitor it and hear what things are sounding like. And I'm gonna have to step away for a few moments, but that's how I do it. And I was using the Behringer rig yesterday. I'm now using a Focusrite 4i4. I've been using Focusrite gear since probably 1985-ish. I'm sorry, 1995-ish, if they were even a company then. And they have never failed me. I can say that in all honesty. So now I've got the cassette in here. Give me just a second, Mike. I'm gonna get this cassette rolling. And I'm going to see where the audio starts. I don't want to have a bunch of... Okay, so that one's great. So I'm going to rewind this. And you guys, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to zoom in a bit here. So it'll be a little interesting to watch. Now, I do need to check my recording levels. So I'm going to push play. And you can hear the cassette, the little... Right, you can see that my level's kind of low right here. Okay, so I'm going to bring the gain up. Bringing the gain up so that I can hit that -12 level. And get the balance between left and right just right. There we go. I'll bring the level down so you can see I've got good signal going in, and I can see it in Reaper. I use Reaper as my DAW for all of the recordings that anybody's ever heard from me, or when I'm playing live on the internet, I'm using this. So I'm going to rewind the cassette tape, and I'm going to zoom way in so we can watch this. Here is the file, the tape I just recorded. Looks really great. I've got the tracks about the same height, roughly. We'll push record. Oops, and I'm going to mute this channel, and we're going to push play. You can see the noise from the cassette tape where it's starting. And there we go. Now I'm going to let you guys listen to this. I'm going to be gone for about 10 minutes maybe. And so forgive me for having to leave you here, but I got to go help. Here we go. Listen to this beautiful music. You will never hear anything like this maybe anywhere else ever. Beautiful.
we won't be old school Charlie. Hey, 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 año, ya le volví otro sale, para, pa, ya. We are the ten way, and we are the ten way. O te moreno, o te moriano, ya le volví otro sale, para, pa, ya.
So, I'm sorry I had to leave y'all alone for a little bit. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? What's going on with my camera? Okay, so let's get back to fixing this guitar. Yes, we drove all the way home. Welcome to small town America, the joys of it. You can drive all the way home in just a few moments and be back, right? I'm sorry I had to leave. Let's see, I poured more on. Sean, thanks for stopping in, man. Okay, so we've done the truss rod adjustment on this thing, so let's check out. I'm just going to play it, because at this point it's kind of time for Mojo. But for Brain. Yeah. But for Brains, go home. Okay, so let's see how she's playing now. Thank you, Jampro, or Independent. I don't know who took care of that bullshit, but somehow today, why are so many mean people on here? I've never done anything like that, never would. I'm a little opinionated sometimes, but boy, doing stupid childish stuff like that. Okay, let's see how happening?
Oh, just coming in to see Mike.
Oh, he should be back any minute.
Oh, do you go somewhere?
Yeah, we ran home to his place to get his car. He's bringing Alora's car. The van, yeah. He wanted to have both rigs here for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, but he's got the vans out there. So, are you guys headed to a gig today or no? Okay.
Yeah, I saw the van out there, so I thought he was here, but I'll hang out for a little bit.
Okay, I don't think he'll be very long, unless he and Laura are making out at home, you know. Surprise! How are you doing, man?
Okay, a lot of old amplifiers don't have enough gain to amplify a turntable if it's a magnetic cartridge. Okay. That is a magnetic phono cartridge preamplifier. And so what you do is run your old school, I got an old Technics or Sensui turntable. You run it into the input of that thing. And
plays really nicely, and it feels really smooth to me. Alright, so now we're going to check the good old-fashioned string height. And on a Stratocaster shaped object, let me see if anybody's... You guys, I'm sorry I had to leave, but I don't just fix guitars. I also... Preston, hello, man. Welcome. BCG. Hey, dude. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks, Indy. BCG, it's great to see you, man. Okay, so where was I with that? I want to check the string height on this guitar just because we've adjusted the neck relief ever so slightly. We gave it a little bit of underbow, and again, I'm not going to remeasure it. I measured it, and it was absolutely perfect aside from the treble side or the high strings being not having enough underbow, which would have potentially caused some fret buzz. I don't play like Terry, so it's possible that when he plays, he's experiencing fret buzz for numerous reasons, or you know, the strings hitting the frets. We call it fret buzz, I guess. But there are many reasons why, and I gotta be honest, most of the time the reason that there's fret buzz that people experience is because of their technique. And I'm walking on eggshells right now, but I've had a lot of guitars brought into me. I've got fret buzz and I play it, and I don't see it or hear it. And the physical setup of the guitar is such that it doesn't have fret buzz, and you know, so I have to be real careful about that. But you know, that's one of the things. It could be technique, you know, that you're not pushing hard enough, or you're not putting your finger close enough to the fret. We all know all the technical guitar mambo jambo is what I would like to see. Do you see the size of that chicken? Right? Okay. So let's check our string height. I like to do this with the guitar laying on its back, and forgive me for pointing you at the ceiling. And our television over here with Sheryl Crow has finally lived its last breath. 3/64. So the string action hasn't changed at all on this guitar with that little adjustment to the truss rod. The A string, I believe, is a little bit low, so I'm going to make a small tweak to this. And this one, aside from letting the owner play it a little bit and tell me what he thinks, we're gonna raise this. I'm gonna go a half a turn on each one of these posts, about a half turn, and let's see if we are at 4/64. Come on, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that, perfect. 4/64.
we can make sure you get
4/64, 3.5 64ths, 3/64ths, and definitely 3/64. So I graduate the strings as I go across here because the larger strings make larger diameter spins when they're rotating to create the pitch. And so I'm able to get these ones a little bit closer so they're graduated. 4/64s, 4, and then about 4, and it's like 4.5, 4.5, 4, 4, 3, 3.5 or so, and then 3. And that is about as low as you can go on a Strat. Yes, you can go lower, I know, but sometimes you can be uncomfortably low. So I'm really feeling like this thing is about ready to. Now I want to check the tuning on this one more time. And then I'm going to do a loop and play this guitar for a moment just to give it my seal of approval. And I do need to stretch the strings a little bit more. I know this stuff gets a little, maybe you might feel like I'm overdoing stuff, but I've built a pretty good reputation doing things like this, so I try to be as consistent as I can with the type of work that I... Mike's already back. Welcome to small town America. Camellia, hello. Let's give that a big old smooch for me. From me. Give the a smooch from this is from Marshall. Chris, what's happening?
Everything.
Oh, me too, man.
I need my equipment and I don't know where it is.
It's me. I couldn't find my tuner this morning. You can see how I'm stretching these strings. I'm being pretty violent with them, is what I like to say, and I mean that in the best way. You know, I'm not nice stretching strings. I don't want to hand this guitar back to some owner and have them have to
Does it still have the roof mount?
Yeah.
spend the afternoon tuning their
Well, I'll need
guitar.
That style roof mount.
And with all the work that I did on the with the truss rod and pulling the neck off of this thing.
We have to cut it off and do something different on the end of that.
Camellia, I'm looking forward to hearing another song from you. Saddles go with the rate. Yeah, exactly. That is a properly set up guitar. Which, you know, there's a lot of arguments about like Gibsons, you can't really do that, but and you can't do the like half a, I measure in 64ths, I don't use metric measurements, sue me, I get it, whatever, but I use what Les Paul and Leo Fender used. Not that there isn't better technology out there, but out of respect, I think. Because I love their guitars, and they kind of started it all. Not all of it, but... Check them one more time. Just doesn't seem like this thing's in tune really well. I may need to we'll do an intonation check just with my snark initially, and then I'll plug the Peterson into it. How many of you guys could drive home and back to work in, I don't know how long I was gone, maybe 7 minutes? I'm just curious. It's just a kind of a rough question. Again, we're small town America. I can't go out to watch live music 7 nights a week, but I can walk to work in 67 seconds. and I can drive to my boss's house and back in less than 10 minutes. This is weird. Okay, so this thing, and again, I don't trust these snart tuners, the new snart tuners anymore. And the Solar sucker still on a mystery hiatus. Well, it was. I have 3 brand new ones. And this came in handy working on this guitar because I had to resolder some stuff. So I had to buy new ones. I have no idea what happened to my other one. But that's a great, I appreciate you asking me about that, man. Oh, I was so frustrated. Did you go across the state for that jam? Yes. In fact, we are now calling Klamath Falls Kalamazoo. And that came up with the band, so we're always laughing about that. It's an inside joke, if you will. Okay, so I like to do that with them, just kind of stretch them as if I'm playing them. It's like tuning a guitar. You tune it as if you're playing it, not real softly or real hard, to get your tuning accuracy really good. So when I stretch strings, I'll bend strings, and as you can see, the guitar is needing some final adjustments, hopefully. And then I know when I'm doing big full strings bends, you know, I bend a lot of 3 fret or step and a half, you know. A minimum want to be able to do that. Now, one thing I did notice on this one, but the owner of this guitar doesn't do this, but up here, if we listen, that note's getting cut off. Yeah. Yeah, and I know Jampro, that's a great comment. Working across the street. Yeah, if I'm working across the street. Very cool. Yeah, I love, again, that's kind of the benefit of living in a small town, is that anywhere you want to go, it's 5 minutes usually. I can drive, well, I don't shop at Walmart, but I can be at the Walmart here in our town in less than 5 minutes driving time, where, you know, unless you live right across the street from it in Boise, it's going to take you a good hour, half hour to get there. You know, you've been playing when you had full of chunks of finger. Yeah, dude. Oh, so I can give myself workman's comp. Oh, well, that's cool. This thing just does not seem to be holding tune real well. Let me see. Now I want you to see what I'm doing here, because I'm checking the nut right now, and hopefully you can see my tuner. So the G string is a little bit sharp. So I want to check and make sure that the string's not hanging up in the nut. So this trick, and it goes back. Now it's a little bit flat, so that's pretty normal. I'd probably stretch the string a little bit by pushing down that hard on it. So I think that I'm going to recommend to him that we change this nut out. This is, I believe it's the original nut that was in this guitar. I would like to build him a new bone nut. This is plastic. Not to mention, I didn't notice this. I'm going to do something about this, but it's kind of sharp. So we'll take a file to it today and soften the edges up. It just, it sounds out of tune. But again, I don't play like Terry does. So The intonation might be really out on this guitar. That sounds a little better. Turn the delay off. Let's see what this sounds like. That's sounding a lot better. I think you guys might agree. Sounding really nice. I think sometimes you just got to play them a little bit, and again, I just put new strings on this, so the whole thing's kind of settling in. So let's put a backing track on, or I'm sorry, not a backing track. I'm going to do a loop. Let me see. How do I want to do this? Tune plays really nicely. Feels really nice to play. And the wheat field, my friend. Yeah. Let me see, Jampro. In the case of a twisted neck, is it possible to shim just the bass or treble side of the neck to make it playable? That doesn't sound really dumb. That's a great question. I have to be honest, it's not something I've ever even tried. I would not be opposed to doing that at all. It's not something I've tried. What I did on this one is my usual attempt to solve. I would prefer, because there's a twist in the neck, it generally means that the neck relief and the height of the string is not the same throughout the entire length of the neck. And so your hands are kind of tied at that point. And so what I generally do on that is lean on the side of sacrificing a little bit higher string action to have playability in the instrument. A twisted neck is not, and especially if it's very bad. This one's not bad. I've seen them a million times worse than this, like unplayable. There's no way to fix it where they're so twisted. And I would recommend, my recommendation would be to buy a new neck for the instrument. It's not cheap to do that, or if you know someone, maybe BCG could build a neck, 5150 could build a neck for you. I don't know if he does that sort of work. I am not building a neck. I don't have the time or the shop to be able to do that, but you can buy fairly affordable necks from Warmoth and places like that. But that would be, if it becomes that much of a problem, I think. But change the spark plug before you change the engine. If you have a neck that you feel is twisted, especially on a bolt-on neck, if it's a set neck, by all means don't try and shim one side of it. Just buy a new guitar. Not joking. You could try shimming one side of the neck. So if you've got one that's twisted, give it a shot and let me know how it turns out. I would love to hear that. And if anybody else has an experience with having shimmed one side of the neck, you know, the heel of the neck a little bit, I'd love to hear it. I just haven't done that. I usually sacrifice a little bit of string action for playability. What's the best guitar to buy? One that's set up properly. I've said that. Bought a new neck for the Strat. No, it doesn't fix the issue. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And, you know, at gigs, you know, I know not many of, it doesn't seem like a lot of the guys that are watching my channel play in actual bands. A lot of YouTube content, and they play and record, and God bless you. But always have a screwdriver that you can remove the neck on your guitar with. At a gig, you saw how long it took me to do it. I had a drill and blip, 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 did it, you know. If that was at a gig, I could have done that on a set break. And if I needed to shim something because something was messed up, you can do it. So to always have a Phillips drive with you. That's a good, always a good plan. And some wire cutters and a pair of needle tip, bent tip. This is one of the most important tools I have. You know, all that stuff. I went on a tangent there, but let's see. I can build one off of eBay or Amazon or any other site. Yeah, and I'm, you know, I wouldn't buy a neck blank. I mean, I'm talking about, like, if you've watched Jerry Rosa, and if you haven't subscribed to his channel and watched some of his old mandolin and guitar building videos, and you will get to witness one of the greatest builders in our current modern time building acoustic guitars. It is astonishing the work that goes into building a neck. And when you watch him do that stuff, you can tell that the guy has done it. It's like, I guess, watching a Eric Clapton play guitar. Jerry, when he builds them, man, it's like watching Eric Clapton play one. It's amazing. Don't have the tools to do a refresh. Yeah, Kramer bass about, yeah. Popping the neck off. Yeah, but I think we also solved a problem with that. It's really, you know, after doing it, you realize, God, I've been afraid of pulling the neck off of a guitar for a long time, and you realize, geez, it's really nothing to it. It's not rocket science. You know, I just did it this morning. It took 5-10 minutes. So, you know, I have to do it a lot. It's the only way to fix certain guitars, and with Strats like this one, you can't not pull the neck to do a truss rod adjustment. So if you're a guitar tech, by all means, you better not be afraid. Straighten just one before wetted, and you used about 12 clamps and clamped it. Yeah. 1 week to slowly spraying it with water. Yep. At the heel now, but otherwise, yeah. And you know, Jampro, that's a great. And BCG, I did the same exact process, only I let mine sit here clamped up to my bench. I had a guitar that came in. It had it was an acoustic. It was a Columbus guitar. There's a video on it. I did, I don't know, a year maybe ago, and 110-year-old guitar, and the neck was back, or it was underbowed so bad. There was no way I could make it playable. Nothing I could do, and so I had to try and straighten it out. I did exactly what you just said, and that's a great way to do it. That little bit of water. I didn't use steam, and I've had guys come into my shop that also work on guitars that live in our area. They work on their own guitars, and they've done that using steam for a couple days. They'll steam it and do the same thing that you're talking about. Yeah, and let's see, the natural truss rod. Yeah, I cannot stand a guitar without a truss rod. Especially a modern guitar. And Martin, I hope you're paying attention, because you build a guitar without a truss rod, that is foolish. Because you've just built something that has built-in failure. And a guitar without a truss rod, come on. We put machines on Mars that drove around for 10 years. You can't put a truss rod in a Martin D28. Anyway. Enough about that. Another tangent we went on. Yeah, and right here, let me show you. Right here, especially on acoustic instruments, but this point right here, where the neck meets the body, is the most common place where there's a tall fret or the neck slightly bent. And so you've got fret buzz right here where the neck meets the body in this area. I've seen it so many times. And oftentimes, I'll tell you what I do with that. I'll show you. I will create fall away from this point to, the 12th, 13th, 14th fret where the high part starts. I'll put a piece of, or a couple pieces of tape over a fret and then sand them down, so I'm taking more off of these frets than I am off of this one, which creates a very, 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 I said very enough, I think, slight angle to your leveling block. And you can remove a tall fret and not necessarily damage the playability of the instrument. If you're trying to spot level frets, you are going to be chasing frets for days. That will be the most frustrating thing you'll ever do. I will never recommend to anybody that you just try filing on one fret. Ask me how I know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not the greatest tech in the world, and I haven't done it all. But man, you guys have watched my channel for years and seen all of the stuff that I've had to do. You start filing on one fret, you are going to be chasing frets. That's all I can say. And the next thing you know, you got your frets filed down to nothing and you still got fret buzz. I hate to say it. You're almost better off to just pull the neck off and do a fret level. And I have done that where, there's a tall fret, or, the neck has a little warp in it where you're starting to go, you've got good, and then it goes downhill, or there's a high spot here and you just can't get around it. Take the neck off if you can and level the frets. And make sure that you set the fingerboard level so you've got now a level playing field to start with. Once you've done that, man, you're pretty good. Use your truss rod to level the fingerboard. Don't worry about the frets. And then do your fret level. That's a recommendation. I'm not telling anybody how to do anything. But I've decided to do that on a few guitars because I knew that one fret, that means all of them. Right? Then you can get a good level playing field. That's what I say. Can a truss rod be added to an old guitar? Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, the heel adjustment truss rod, and those are great too. The tilt function on some of the Fenders is really a cool option that they've added. It basically does the same thing as a shim. You know, not many Fenders have. I shouldn't say not many. I don't see a lot of them that have that. Those are typically more expensive guitars, and we don't have a demographic that buys expensive guitars, obviously, right? You know, but the thing about, and having said that, I've said this many times, but you know, I don't care if you bought a $50 guitar or $50,000 guitar. I will make a $200 guitar play like a $200,000 guitar any day of the week. You got to put your time and effort and measure and keep doing it. To do it twice, do it 3 times, sneak up on it, all that little stuff. In the 70s. Even current modern guitars have that neck heel adjustment, but absolutely you can add a truss rod to a guitar neck. In fact, I think Jerry Rosa has a video of him installing like a truss rod, and I ain't kidding, in like a Harmony catalog guitar, like a really cheap 60s era. Bought it from Montgomery Ward's or whatever the catalogs were back then. Kmart, not even Kmart. What are the big Sears, whatever. I think he put a truss rod in a guitar at one point in time, and I did exactly what you said. And you know, he had to do some interesting stuff at the headstock because he put the truss rod adjustment at the headstock. So that was a really, really wonderful show. I don't know if I would have to be pretty. I'd have to be pretty desperate to try and do that myself, to be honest. I have replaced a truss rod in a guitar that already had a truss rod in it, which was exactly that. You pull the fingerboard off, you remove the truss rod, put the new one in. That was pretty. I mean, it's simple work. Maybe I make it sound simple. It wasn't that big of a deal. Getting the thing out was the worst part. Each Strat has the best guitar. Yep, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Exactly. And just, you know, it sounds stupid, but my own guitar is 1st to 12th normal level. The 13th to the 22nd. Filled mine a little lower than... Oh, filed mine to a little lower than 12th to the 1st. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I think you're kind of talking about the same thing, where if you put a piece of tape or something to cause a shim at the 12th fret, then you can get some. So you've got the 12th fret, you know, going from the 0 to the 12th. You're kind of going downhill like this, and then at the 12th fret you do this. And I'm being very extreme here. It caused some fall away. Look at an acoustic guitar. A properly set acoustic guitar neck will have fall away from the 12th, or where the neck meets the body. It's not always the 12th fret. Sometimes it's the 14th, whatever. So yeah, that's a good way to do it, man. I think my Strat, it's funny, man. I just did some research on mine. Oh, I gotta change the cassette. I'm gonna put this guitar down because I've got another one I'll bring over here. We'll let this one sit. And I brought my my tuner with me. I'm gonna plug this tuner in. Let me turn that down. Let me turn that off. Give me a second. Okay, I'm just turning all my stuff off. I'm gonna plug my my tuner in to get this thing charged up proper. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Again, I'm not a fan of the, and sorry I vanished there for a moment. Not a fan of the rechargeable snarks. I don't think they're as accurate as the old battery powered ones. And probably built someplace else. Okay, so we've gotten that that track done. So there y'all are. Say hello to yourselves. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this, save them all. Now I'm gonna take this. I recorded a bunch of extra stuff on there, making sure not to remove anything that might be important. Now I'm gonna go to this, and I'm gonna right click on this and go to item properties, and I'm gonna retitle this let's see, this is, I'm going to retitle this side A. Whoops, and delete that. And then I got this, let me delete that. Drums Grandma side A and hit apply. Okay, so I've got that one. Now, we're gonna, still got it. Okay, so now we're gonna take the cassette out of here. 43 years ago this stuff was recorded. Side B, put that in there, and I'm gonna push play, and I'm gonna keep an eye on my audio interface down here. Oh, and let me put this in. Okay. Now, something I want y'all, let me stop this real quick. I want you to notice the stereo field. Hopefully you can see this. But this recording, these recordings were recorded in stereo. And this audio is absolutely fantastic. I mean, aside from cassette tape degradation. But they just sound, it's crazy to listen to this in some headphones because it's like you're there. So I'm going to push record. And let me zoom way in. I'm going to push play. And like the record skipping. I remember this one started off kind of quiet, and then it just all of a sudden, it's like it's faded in. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna look at that. And also, one thing I like to say also about this recording, look at that. The cassette card, good old Bob Seger. Probably lost that. Even now making Thunderbird Boomtown Blues. Shame on the moon. Wow. I have been in close contact. Oh, it's 2 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah,
correct.
I came over to see how you were doing.
Yeah, I need to go eat. I have been in close contact with Jampro, who helped me with this a little bit. And you know, again, the Behringer audio interface was a big bump in the road with that. But he was in a movie in the early 90s. I think it was about the Lakota Indians. But he's going to help me, I think, do some mastering on this stuff to do our best to clean up the audio and to not do anything detrimental to it or make it sound any different, but maybe to try and get a little bit rid of some of the tape noise. It's just tiny stuff that needs to be done. But you know, if you guys are looking for a mixing engineer or a mastering engineer, I don't know if he really specializes in mastering at all, because as we all know, if you could buy Ozone, you have the best mastering engineer in the world, I think. Just run it through there. But Jampro, as soon as it comes out. So again, I appreciate your help on this, Justin, and it really means a lot to me because this is very special music, and I know how important. Oops, I know how important it is to you also. So I'm really glad to get this thing, the quality of the recording, much better. So with that, I've got to get going. Remember to hit the thumbs up on the video. I really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, and it also helps me get bots commenting on my streams, which means I'm doing something right. And it draws in the a-holes so that we can get rid of them from commenting racially negative stuff or anything negative about anybody's channels on mine. I just, it's astonishing how many terrible people there are out there that would waste their time doing something like that. Unbelievable. So with that, you guys, subscribe if you haven't, hit the thumbs up, and maybe next time I can set a goal and actually activate it. But you guys have a really great day. I have a gig Saturday. Wish me luck on that, and we may see you tomorrow. I've got a Jackson Floyd Rose impregnated instrument that I will be setting up. And that will take me a little bit of time because it's brand spanking new and we might have to do some stuff to it. So if you're curious about Floyd Roses, come back tomorrow. I should have a live stream then. Right on. All right, Independent, thank you very much. We may see you on Friday. Camellia, hopefully you gave that a big kiss for me. I appreciate it. And Preston, it's great to see you. 5150, Jampro. And everybody else, have a great time. Enjoy the rest of your day, Jampro. Have fun. I wish I could send this to you now. All right. Thanks, Preston.